You can run AI both in the cloud and on your local PC. I will try to unite two tools into one, so I can choose what AI to ask each question. As I already have many workflows using the UI tool, this change will give me a much broader selection of AI when it comes to time, cost, and privacy. The plan is to see what is available from each provider and only allow these functions via the user interface. Is it possible to unite two totally different AI providers without making a total mess of the user interface? The two AI providers I'm thinking about uniting are ChatGPT for cloud and Ollama or Llama 3 for local. Now, why these two, you might ask? Well, simply because they both use something called ChatLM when talking to the LLM over a web interface. Yes, Ollama can use a web interface set to localhost, so it's still local, while ChatGPT goes to the cloud. Now, talking about Ollama, it will only do chat. What about all the other services that OpenAI provides? The list of what Ollama is providing is short. You can list models and you can ask it a question or doing chat. OpenAI has much more things it provides. List models, chats, images, functions, assistants, and then this new range of stuff that just came out last week. So when we're using the provider Ollama, we must make sure that these functions cannot be requested and should not be triggered by mistake. But how do we know if Ollama is installed? We need it installed before we can allow any user to call for local AI usage. We can use the shell tool which, maybe also the Python version of it, Shootil which, just to get a more portable solution. But at least for now, we know if Ollama is installed. In the OI CLI, I have inserted a new positional and optional argument called Prohibition. It could have two values, either OI for OpenAI and OL for Ollama. If it's not provided, the old ChatGPT or OI is used. That is, old scripts will still be working, and we're talking about all my old workflows here. So if we set this one to all, the chat will be directed to the Ollama chat API. But what actual model will be used by Ollama? Let's define that one in the OI configuration file. We're using the same way to configure this as we do with choosing a model from OpenAI. So by now, we have the big switch choosing between cloud and local. Then what about the OpenAI specific functions? Based on the provider selector, we need to check function per function if it's allowed or not. And most often it is not. Next up, we need a conduit for the Ollama API. I choose to implement this one as a Python object. A Python object that is only instantiated if the user asks for Ollama use. So apart from that, the Conduit looks very much the same as ChatGPT 1 does, because they both support ChatML, right? Right? Wrong. On returning the result from the Ollama call, Python screams in agony. Why? This actually takes me hours to debug, where it all looks very similar, and yet it screams of misalignment. Finally, I realized that one of them returns a list of dictionaries, while the other one returns an object containing a list of dictionaries. Try printing out these two and spot the difference between them if you can. Frustrating. Now, with alignment between the two providers, the code runs smoothly and it's all pushed to GitHub, making up the new release 070 of UI. Link in the description if you want to try it out for yourself. Now, how did it happen that I integrated ChatGPT into the terminal window in the first place? To find out, click the suggested video and I will see you there in just a second.